When someone has a child that looks exactly like them, watch how they treat that child because it will tell you everything about how they treat themselves and how they feel about themselves. I promise you. There's actually a certain, I don't know if they're on TikTok or YouTube, but they're like mukbangers, and it's like a family. It's like a mom, a dad, and a daughter. And the daughter looks exactly like her mother. And her mother is so hateful towards her daughter. She's always criticizing her and how she eats, always, making comments, slick little comments about her looks and stuff like that. And I be watching it and I'm like, it's because she looks just like her mother. Because her mother hates herself, she hates the way she looks because she's a bigger woman herself. And her daughter came out heavy set. Her daughter eats the same she does. You know what I mean? And the criticizing that she was giving her daughter about her looks, the way she eats, it was sick. I think she even called her daughter a pig really on camera, and she posted that. They posted that shit. And all I could think of is that mother hates herself so much that she can't stand looking at her mini me. Can't stand that her daughter has the same habits as her. She can't stand that her daughter turned out just like her. So oftentimes when people hate themselves and they have a child that comes out just like them, looks like them, acts like them, and they abuse that child, overly criticize that child, it's because they hate themselves and they hate looking at themselves. For me, I have a son and he looks just like me. Everybody says it. He is my mini me. He doesn't just look like me, he has certain qualities of me. And I love him to death. It was just so easy for me to love him. There's nothing I wouldn't do for him. I don't want to criticize him. I don't want him to hate himself. I don't want him to feel bad about himself. And that is a reflection of how I treat myself, how I love myself. I look at my son every day and tell him I love him. I look at my son every day and tell him he's the cutest thing that I've ever seen. And I'm able to extend that love to him because I love myself. When you become a parent, you have to love yourself. And that's a key thing that so many people just skip over. When you are having children and you don't love yourself, how do you expect yourself to love your children properly? Because if you are having children and you're hoping and praying that that child turns out nothing like you, doesn't look like you, doesn't act like you don't love yourself. And because of that, that child is going to come out just like you, looking just like you. And it's all a test from God to see exactly how you're going to treat that child. Most of the time, these people fail because they hate themselves and they were hoping to have a child that was nothing like them. And it's really sad because a lot of the times these children end up abused and treated horribly, all because the parent does not love themselves and they cannot keep looking at a child that reminds them of themselves. This also goes for people who have children that look like the ex that left them. Okay? I have seen a pattern that people, especially with women, when they have a child that looks like their ex, the man that broke their heart, that, they had a baby for this man thinking that they were going to keep that man using a baby, and that man still ended up leaving them and breaking their heart. They cannot look at that child and not hate them because they remind them of their father. And that's some of the most saddest situations I hear about because the child is innocent. The child isn't responsible of being here. The mother made that decision to lay down to get pregnant, knowing that they possibly didn't want a child, but they just wanted to tie this man down. And it didn't work. So now they have to look at a child that reminds them of the father, of the man that broke their heart every single day. And because of that, most of the time, these kids end up being mistreated, abused horribly because the mother is holding a grudge against the father. That's just something that I've noticed, and I just had to make a video about it because I'm just like, yeah, who else has noticed that?